Mick Corrigan here from Action Coach, and today I'm with Michael Lough, who is the Managing Director at BlueWren. Michael, welcome, and great to meet you.
Thank you, Mick. Yeah, great to be here.
Looking forward to hearing about BlueWren. So tell us all about it.
Okay, yeah, sure. So we are a small business. We are a software business. We started in 2010. There are 8 of us in the business, and we deliver software to other SMEs, other small businesses. We have built a platform which can be configured to make typically CRM type systems and workflow systems for businesses that helps them improve their own processes and their own productivity.
Okay, and how bespoke is it to the SME that you're working with?
So that was the goal for us. So we used to build things bespoke for every individual client, but obviously that comes with its own overheads and challenges. So 5, 6 years ago now, we embarked on a product that ourselves, which was a platform which is very modular in the way it's put together, and it's extremely configurable. So every customer, we go through a business analysis process with them to understand their workflow, help them with our own understanding of productivity and process improvement, and then we can craft it exactly how they work and how they need it to work for them. So it can be as bespoke as it needs to be for each customer.
With the benefit of you not having to start from scratch for each one.
Absolutely. So that's the benefit. So we sit in that middle ground. You can get something called a SaaS product, a software as a service, something off the shelf, which will do many things for you, and they're great, because you can get up and you can start straight away. However, they can be quite locked down and they can be quite restrictive. And as a business, if you're trying to adopt that, you will need to do all the learning and the adoption and the training and support yourself. And at the other end is something called enterprise, and that would be a very, very large system which would require software developers or a team of software developers to craft and build and develop it for you. We sit in the middle, so we will configure it so you get that enterprise level functionality and breadth and customization that you would get at an enterprise level, but it's also cost effective and it's rapid because we're using a platform. So that allows you to get that cost effective way from it, like SaaS. So yeah, that's where we sit. Yeah.
And what situation would an SME typically be in to get the most from your services?
Well, from our perspective, it's obviously a business that recognizes that they need to improve the way that they manage their processes and their workflow. So they might be using a number of different systems or different tools that they've grown up with or evolved into. So it might be Excel spreadsheets or emails and WhatsApps and all sorts of things like that. We will take those and we will look at the workflow and we will help them map out what would good look like for that business. And then we can craft a system that allows them to collect those inquiries, do that sales process, convert that sale into a job or an event or whatever that might be, and then deliver that and track the delivery of it, and then hook up to your finance system. So our system has an open API which allows it to connect to other tools. So we connect to Xero and QuickBooks and Sage and things like that. So you can see it's a full flow without any loss of information, without necessarily the risk of user error. I mean, obviously users have to put data in, but it minimizes the user error. And you can give a very strict and consistent workflow that means that each and every job or inquiry that comes in is treated in the same way. So you don't need to rely on necessarily unique unicorns in your business. You're following a process that you can slot people in and out of. That allows you to scale as well. So that's good. So we're working across a lot of sectors and a lot of businesses, but typically those are the ones that they obviously recognize that they need need some help, or they need something, and we can be a solution for that.
And is it the platform that you've got that differentiates you from other software providers?
Well, it's unique to us. We've built the platform, so we've got control of that. So that means that we can develop and build on that platform to meet the growing requirements of customers. But frankly, a lot of the platforms or systems out there will do similar things. Excuse me, because CRM. We don't have a monopoly on how to build CRM systems, obviously. But I suppose where our point of difference is, it's our business model. So you pay a single fee per month, and you can continually change and adapt it, which means it can grow with your business. The other thing is that we can apply our own understanding. We're a small business. We understand process improvement. That's where we've come from. So we can interpret what you need, and then we can go away and hopefully configure a solution that meets what your requirements are as a business. So you're not having to, you understand your business really well. You understand what works, what doesn't. We have to interpret that, or we have the skills to interpret that, and then deliver a software application or solution that meets those needs. And if it doesn't, or if it's not quite right, we can rapidly change it, and you can keep going. So it can grow and evolve to meet those, and we can really refine the processes and how it works. So yeah, I suppose that's where we sit.
Yeah, and I know you've had some good net growth, been up and down as a lot of businesses are, but you've had good net growth. What does the future look like, Michael? What's that looking?
Yeah, it's been a tough old. Well, we started in 2010. So we've been going 14 years, so we're not new to this sort of thing. COVID had an impact on us. Also, the development of the platform. We didn't start developing it until 2018, 2019. So we had a few years leading up to it. And for those other people out there that talk about software development and product development, it's hard. It's really hard to get a software product off the ground, to get customers on board, to get a process within your own business to bring customers on, and to retain those customers, and to continually enhance and develop the product and the platform. So that's where we're at the moment. We've done really well. I mean, we were the most successful we were of the year. Last year was our best year. We're looking to grow as a team to give ourselves a bit more resource, but ultimately the platform, the way that we've built it, it doesn't need a huge amount of people, because it's a single platform. It can be configured rapidly by non-software developers, so it's relatively easy to adopt in terms of the configuration point of view. And then once it's up and running, it's straightforward and relatively easy to maintain. So it's about customer support, customer training, and development from there. So from a future point of view, it's to continue to support the customers that we have, and enhance the systems that we're providing them, and to grow, bring more customers on board, but in a steady and manageable way. We tried to grow too rapidly a few years ago, and that wasn't what we wanted to do. We realized we couldn't give some of our customers the same level of support, so we've slowed that down to make sure that we deliver a quality product and a quality system every single time, and then we can support that.
So what are the learnings you've had along the way then, Michael? You might have already mentioned some of them, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
what's been the one that stands out?
Okay, so the one that stood out the most to us. So I talked about us transitioning from a service-based. Well, what we did, we built bespoke software. So we were a service-based business. Alongside building software, we also at the time built websites. And we thought, well, we made the decision to transition to a product-based solution. You know, build a product and repeat the sale of that same product there or thereabouts. Now, software product development, particularly software development, is incredibly hard. What we did was we funded that by maintaining our other side of the business, the website development and the website support, in order to sort of transition and develop the product at the same time as selling the product. If we had our time again, we would focus much more on one thing, on that product development, get that right, and go from there. That transition period, you can't, as a small business, you know, spin too many plates. You need that focus as a small business, both, you know, yourself as a leader of that business, but also those in the business, to say, oh, just do a couple of days here and then a couple of days on that. It doesn't work that way. So I don't, you know, looking back, we funded it, so that was the way that we could do it, and it was tough. That's what I would say. That would be my learning. If we started again, I'd sort of think, okay, how do we get rid of the costs out of our business before we embarked on this? But it also takes a lot of, I don't know, I would say courage, or a lot of conviction to do what we've done. So I'm proud of that, because you could have, you know, you do see a lot of businesses who think, oh, I can make a piece of software. Yeah, and they just are basically, they're not flushing money down the toilet, but they're burning money unnecessarily. So it can be a real challenge. So you've got to do it right, and we've gone through that. So we know the tough bits, and we know that it will always take 10 times longer than you anticipate, and we know how you manage that. So I suppose I could be quite a good advisor on anyone who's wanting to build a software product. Maybe I'd just say just don't do it, but no, I'm only joking. But yeah, that would be our learning, and yeah, I think that's sort of the crux of it. We have adopted an operating, it's called the Entrepreneurial Operating System, EOS. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Yeah. Traction. That's held us in really, really good stead. It gave us a structure and a focus, and we adhere to that to this day. And that's been a really important thing for running the business. We also adopt or use Scrum, which is a project management, which is an iterative project management methodology. Again, those principles are critical to the way that we deliver to our customers, but that we develop and manage our own business as well. So those sorts of operational and process things that we are obviously selling to some degree with the software, we've also adopted those internally for our own business, and we can see the benefits of those.
Makes a lot of sense. Michael, thank you so much. That's great share and great advice, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks, Mick. That's much appreciated.